am Zoe from Paranormal Extraction, and you are watching my show. Today, all of you paranormal people are gonna love this one because it's Dave, and he's called the Soul Medium, okay? You are gonna absolutely love this show. I talked to him. He's into the same thing I'm into, so we hit it off right away. So why don't you listen to this fantastic person that I met that's out there doing the paranormal the right way. Yay! All right. Hi.
Hi, Zoe.
Did I introduce you correctly? Was that it?
Yes,
okay?
you did.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
So let's see your T-shirt. I saw it earlier. Let me see.
Here we go.
That's the Soul Medium. Okay. And where are you? Okay, where are you? Are you in Facebook or Instagram?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I started TikTok also, but that's just in the making. Right now, we can't do much because of certain restrictions, so we're going to wait on the YouTubing and the TikTok a little bit, but we're keeping up with Instagram more so than Facebook right now.
Okay, so that's where they can find you, and you're under the Soul Medium.
Yeah, at the Soul Medium. That's right.
At the Soul Medium.
That's
okay.
right.
I always forget to put at in the beginning, but anyway.
So do I.
Okay. So anyways, okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do? It's fascinating. So I'm going to let you go ahead and lead, and if I have any questions, I'll just butt in.
Absolutely. So I'm a medium, and I've been a medium most of my life. It started off early childhood, where I'd be in bed and I'd be seeing shadows on the side of the bed. I remember one night waking up, and we had a room that was right across from us, and we'd always keep that door closed. And that door, we used to call it, that room, we used to call it the cold room. So I would be lying in bed, I'd wake up, and I just looked up, and I see the door opening, but I see this hand, this black hand, open the door by itself, and the door would shoot open.
Oh my God.
Being a kid of 7 years old, you're looking at it, and you're like, what just happened here? And you put your head over the covers, you don't understand what's going on. So it took some time to figure out what's going on. And as I got older, and I was out with friends, going to school, playing all kinds of sports, you kind of lose it. It's not so much you lose it, but you put it in the back of your mind. So when I got to college, I had to sign up for certain courses. So I had one course left, and it was a humanities course. And in that humanities course, it was spirituality. And I said, okay, well, I might as well just take this course. So I took the course, and our teacher was talking about doing out-of-body experiences. So he was telling us how to do it, what you should look out for. So one day I was home alone. It was in the afternoon, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna try and do what he says. So it took me a while. It really it took a while for it to happen, but I mean, we were told to start with our feet and move our body upwards, and everything just to relax and to calm down, and visualize yourself in an elevator going down so everything can rush up. So when I did the out-of-body experience, it was a beautiful experience. I mean, you felt nothing. You didn't feel your body, you didn't feel your arms, your face, all the muscles in your face just started to relax. And all of a sudden I was lying there, and my whole body just felt like it was pulling my soul from me. And I got up to a point where I hit the ceiling, and I got a little scared, and I looked back and I could see myself lying on the bed. And I just got really scared, and I went right back in, because the teacher was telling us there's different spheres that you can hit. And if you go to a certain sphere, some other soul might take your body over. So it always worried me about doing that.
Oh my God, yes, of course.
Yeah. So I said, with that fear, it pulled me right back in.
Right.
And since that day, I've started to get bits and pieces of it, but I didn't really understand to the full effect of what it could be. So at that time, I was going to school. I was working 2 jobs. I was a DJ at night, so I was out till 3, 4 in the morning. And when you're a DJ, you come home, your ears are ringing. You can't really hear anything for a few hours.
Right.
So this just keeps you out of the loop. So when we had kids and everything quieted down and I was working 1 job, things started to really pick up for me. So one night I was outside just trying to get some air, and I saw this man in the middle of the street, and he was pacing back and forth. And I'm saying, my God, that's a little strange. I mean, it wasn't a big street, it's a small street. He's pacing back and forth and pacing, and all of a sudden, there's this gold Pathfinder, Nissan Pathfinder, that's parked across the street. So the guy starts to walk towards the car, and he's going for the handle of the car. But the only thing is the door doesn't open, but he goes into the car, and I'm standing there, and I said, what just happened here?
Wow.
So I'm looking, and I mustered up enough energy to go over to the car to see maybe it was just me sitting in it. There was no one in the car. So I looked around the street. I couldn't see anybody. So I said to myself, did I just see a ghost?
Right.
So,
right.
That's when things started to pick up. I mean, having 3 kids, 3 young kids, it's a lot of work, but your mind has taken a different stage. You're not occupied with everything in life. When you work, you go to school, whether you're taking care of kids, whatever the issue is, people aren't aware of what's going on around them.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with society today. I mean,
right.
If you look at it, everybody's busy doing everything else but taking care of their own spirituality, trying to reach a different goal. We're out there to make money. We're out there to take care of our kids. We're out there to cook. We're out there to sleep. But nobody is taking that hour out of their day to actually sit down and work on themselves.
Exactly. I agree with you.
Yeah, so if you're sick and you've got a sore leg or you broke your hand or something, you're off to the hospital, right?
Right.
You're there, and you immediately are there to take the time to fix your body, your physical body. But what about your mind? Why aren't people actually trying to help themselves improve on spirituality, anxiety, everything else that goes into it? So that's why I say people have to up your vibrations, up your senses, up your intuition. When people start working on these things come to them.
Right.
And I truly believe everybody can be a medium. I just think that mediums are blessed with the extra step of moving forward more so than the regular human being does.
Right. So hey, would you tell me, what do you think, could you give people an example of what is a medium? I mean, maybe they don't know.
Maybe they don't, but mediums are people that their intuition is at a different level than the normal human being. So let's say you walk into a room and all of a sudden you feel different from that room to the other. It's because your senses are picking things up. So like if I'm going to enter a different room, I like to be in a t-shirt so I can feel on my skin the energy that's there. People don't give themselves credit. They think whatever they're thinking is in their mind, but actually there's people talking to them, people that have passed, people giving them information, but they're too scared to come out and actually say something about this because they don't want to be labeled as crazy, or maybe it's just in their head. So people don't actually take their thoughts and try to distinguish what's their own compared to what's being said to them from the other side.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, I really work on keeping my vibration really high. I work with Jock Brokus. I don't know if you know who he is, but
yes,
it's amazing bestseller book. But it's really the same thing as what we're talking about. It's really about keeping that vibration up and taking that time to do this, and that pretty much anybody can do what you're doing. But I must say that from our conversations on what you have found or done with paranormal, that your senses are more heightened than the regular individual who might be able to hear things and experience what you're talking about. I'll just give you an example. For me, I'm a clairaudient and a clairsentient. So those are the things I have. I'm not a medium or anything like that, but you know, I can feel and I can hear. So, you know, there's all different levels of what it is and what it isn't. But what's so sad, and I know that you're on here today, is that us being who we are, okay, and what we do, okay, because you're a paranormal investigator, which we'll get into, and a medium, is that there are a very limited number of friends that you can find or people that you can talk to this about.
Yes.
Because they really, they don't have, they're dead. You know, I guess, you know, I call it unconscious. Are you unconscious or are you conscious?
A lot of people are unconscious.
So, right. And, you know, why do you think that, you know, the suicide rate's up? The anxiety rate is up. Why do you think people are living in fear every day? You know, we have all of that. So when you're a medium, do you actually see in your mind's eye or see, let's say you're going to go do your paranormal investigations. Do you have a team that you work with?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And what is it exactly that you do? I mean, do you get calls first, or, I mean, first of all, let me tell you guys, he's not your typical paranormal investigator that's going to go in and, you know, ask stupid questions and ask things that he shouldn't be asked, or do things that is, you know, no Ouija boards or any of that stuff. I mean, they're using their spirituality, I'm trying to get to this, and help people. So am I right on that? And how does your team work, and what type of equipment do you use, if you use it? Because I use none except for dowsing rods and a Polaroid camera. So why don't you explain that, if you can remember?
Sure, absolutely. First of all, we look at who we want to help. We get a lot of calls for help. So the thing is we've got to distinguish what's going on in people's heads as compared to what's really happening in their lives. So, you know, there's people out there that imagine a lot of things. So we kind of decipher that stuff before we go in, because we've had people where it's all in their head. We've gone through investigations. I've gone in, I don't feel anything. And it's just a sense that you have if people are real with this.
Well, so, I've actually had to ask if they've been to a psychiatrist. Or, I mean, and it's actually important to do that kind of evaluation before you do go in.
Absolutely.
So I think that is excellent. So didn't mean to interrupt you, but go ahead and keep going. So you get these calls and you screen them, basically.
Always.
And then you go in to meet them.
We go in, we sit down for a bit. I'll tell them what I'm feeling. I will tell them things that there's no way that I can know, because I have absolutely no idea who they are. And that kind of gives them a verification of that we're the real thing. We go in, we talk, and while I'm talking with them, I have my team set up all the equipment. So what we do is we set up cameras in different areas. especially where there's a lot of paranormal activity. We also set up voice recorders like the Zoom 5, the Zoom 1, other little recorders on the side. We have also what we call REM pods, which I can show you if you want to just give me one sec.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
REM pod.
A REM pod. Hi, everybody. Grabbing my coffee.
Life's blood, baby.
Coffee, nothing else.
Life's blood. Sometimes.
Okay, a REM pod.
He's
So-
digging. He's digging.
Okay.
He's the
So-
Wizard of Oz.
Wait, 1 second. I want to ask you one question before you show that REM pod.
Yeah,
You
sure.
said that you go in and you know that you feel things, and so I want to just be clear with everybody out there. That means something from the other side, correct?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
like you might say, talk about their dead aunt. So that's why they believe you, because you're able to tap into maybe people that have passed on to the other side and give them information, right?
Sure.
Okay, great. I'm ready to see the REM pod.
This is what we call a REM pod.
Oh.
Okay, I don't know if you can see it there.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so that's a REM pod. And what we do, and it could be a little loud, so
No.
I'm just going to turn it on to test it. So there's these lights that shine. Now, as you can see, there's an antenna here. So I'm holding this REM pod. I'll just put it down for a second. It stops. So anything that comes close to this REM pod, if I touch it, it goes berserk. And you can see all the colors changing.
Right.
Okay, so this here we set up in different rooms. There's nobody in the room, there's a camera and everything. And it's set there. So we leave it there. And the minute we start hearing this, it's because there's been a change of energy. Something is actually on it and
Correct.
causing what we see here.
Okay.
Let me just turn that off.
Okay.
So that tells us that there's a change in energy, which I'll call, to me, there's always a spirit around that's trying to connect. And it gets our attention because we're in different rooms. I mean, sometimes we're in huge buildings, we're
Sure.
in prison, empty prisons, empty hospitals, empty colleges, whatever it is. And we'll set this up in different rooms, so this way it can alert us to it. During the taping, we get a lot of orbs that are running into these REM pods, and you can see them coming out. And we'll tape a session, a video session, an audio session. A lot of the audio session, you can't pick it up by ear. That's why we tape it, because the frequency of people's ears compared to the frequency of these machines are way different. It can pick up a lot more. So we'll get people, souls that have passed, that have come out and say things, and it's extremely clear. It's not like your small little gibberish and you're putting it to your ear and you're saying, what did he just say? I can't make it out. No, these are clear responses from people that have passed. People that have passed have things to say just as much as any human being has to say. It's just that our frequencies are not at the same level. So that's why we have mediums. That's why we have all these different type of gadgets to try to connect to people that have passed.
Right. Well, it's kind of interesting because, I mean, I'm not on here to, devalue you or any way whatsoever, but I actually don't believe in using any equipment. It's just my own personal experience. And I think it's really because that the demonic forces on any level are so close that they could be attracted to that type of energy. So I really try to stay away from those things because to me, it's like a Ouija board. You're asking the Ouija board a question. Most of us that are in the paranormal, we don't use those.
No,
so,
I would never do that.
Right. So when it's talking into there, to me, that's similar to a Ouija board. However, I mean, I used to have my own radio show and I did like lots of research, scientific things about it. So I kind of have my own little gig that I don't do. However, I know that when you told me about your equipment, I believed you.
Right.
Okay. I believed you because now, didn't you get some, besides that you're getting the clear voices, not the stupid ones that are on TV? But
Exactly.
didn't you talk about some type of clear evidence that you got? Was that on camera or was that through a recorder device?
Actually, that was through the one that I did was through my cell phone.
Okay. So
Cool.
you just put on record on your cell phone, and what
Yeah.
happened?
Well, this is someone who came in whose brother had passed away. And, well, actually, it's somebody that we know. And I told her, I said, your brother wants to talk to you. So we were 6 people. We sat at a table. I put on the record button on my phone. And she sat there. She started to cry and things like that. And we started conversing. And they were talking about somebody dying. And he came out. Her brother came out and said, who died? Clear as day. And we let that go on for about 15 minutes. And then we reviewed it. And clear enough, you can hear him say, who died? And she goes, that's my brother. She goes, that's my brother's voice.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she was adamant about it. And there was also earlier on, which we didn't pick up right away, is that we were talking and her husband was trying to kill a fly that was going around. So he went and he hit the table and he said, I missed it. And her brother came out and said he escaped. And we didn't really catch it right away, but it's as clear as day. I mean, there was no one else talking, and it came from him with the same voice. And she goes, oh my God, she goes, that's my brother. Okay. So the communication is there. It's not something that was just getting a little bit of gibberish where, you go, and you try to hear it back. This is clear voices coming out. Right. So when you're saying that a lot of this stuff, like when it comes to the equipment side of the things, and we do get a lot of stuff on our audio and our video, I don't believe everything is in a demonic state. If we go in thinking that we're going to get something that's bad, it's a manifestation. But I clearly believe that there's people out there, and we do this just to give people proof on the paranormal. That's why we're doing these investigations. I mean, I could come out and I could say all kinds of things. Zoe, I could say something to you and you'll say, well, you know what? I'm a public figure. You probably got it off the internet. So, you know what I mean? What I'm trying to say. I mean, but there's people out there I don't even know and I meet, and I could sit with them for an hour, 2 hours, and I could tell them things that there's no way that I know.
Right. So you're actually, so what you're doing though really is helping people. So
absolutely.
Are you? So I have a question. Are these people calling because the activity has bothered them in their house, or is it because you're a medium and they want to talk to the other side, or is it both?
Well, see, for us, it's a little different. Me being a medium, most paranormal investigators aren't mediums. So they're going in there and they're getting their evidence from their tapes and their videos. I'm there. It's a little bit of a unique situation. I'll give them a reading before we start.
Okay.
So the confirmation is there for them that, I'm not just any Joe Blow off the street giving you some BS.
Right.
There's no way I would know what I'm telling you. So, it's a bit of a confirmation for them.
Right. It's a confirmation, but is it because of, let's just say ghosts are moving things around in their house, or is it because so that's what it is. So they're concerned about activity, and that's why you call them. I mean, they call you, and then what you do, instead of just going in and setting up equipment and doing the stupid shows, you're actually sitting down with them, telling them what's there, okay, and then setting up your equipment and going into the rest of the...
So there's times that we go in and I do not take part in any of the paranormal stuff. If we're there for 4 hours, I'm sitting with the people for 4 hours and I'm giving them messages from the other side.
Wow.
And we're not talking 15 minutes. We're talking hours.
Wow.
Hours.
Cool.
Hours, yeah. And the other thing I love too is that you get paid for what you do, which I think you should.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you need to. And this, most people don't. And
Yeah.
I think that we're professionals and that we should be. And I'm really glad that you told me that. I was really excited about that. What did you tell me something about the police or the newspaper or something like that, or finding somebody that got lost, or am I lost?
No, but I mean, let's go back even before that. We were renovating our kitchen, our downstairs actually, from a contractor that we knew through my son's friend. And he finished doing all the work, and I said, okay, I'll come by next week and I'll pay you the balance. And he says, okay, fine. He says, come by on a Saturday. I went by on a Saturday morning. So I went by, I gave him the envelope, and he says, Dave, do you mind if you come in for a few minutes? He goes, I need to ask you something. I said, absolutely. So we sat down on the table, and he gave me a picture of this man, and he gave me a map of an area. And he says, do you know this man? He goes, he lives on the upper side of where you live. And I said, no, I have no idea who he is. He said to me, well, he's been missing for 7 days, and we can't find him. He says the cops searched the house, they searched the area, and the police can't find him. And they've used search dogs and everything else. He says, can you help me? And I said, absolutely. I said, this man here hung himself in a dark room. So he got a little defensive, and he says, no. He goes, that's not it at all. He goes, that's not what it is. He used to like to go for walks, and we believe he might have had a heart attack and got lost in the forest and was lying down somewhere. So I said, okay, fine. And I said, well, what's this thing with the man's father? And he starts looking at me, and he goes, what do you mean? Well, I go, this man, his father, is a very mean man, and I feel like he's killed someone. And he looks at me all surprised, and he says, well, that man's father, he's in jail for killing his wife.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but he goes, that's not it. And he goes, what you're thinking about this, excuse me, this man hanging himself was my neighbor across the street. He hung himself in the carport. Wow. I said, I really don't think so. He goes, anyways, can you go by the house? So I said, sure, I'll go. So I drove by the house, and there must have been about, oh my God, a good 70 people outside, and there's the police with police dogs and all that stuff. So I called him up and I said, listen, I don't want to be rude or anything, but I said, I need you to clear the people because I don't want to pick up everybody's energies. I go, if you want me to do something, I'll go in there, but I need the place cleared. So he says, okay. He says, give me 20 minutes. So he actually cleared everybody out, and I came in and I started going for the upstairs. And I was there, the wife was there. And I said, has the police checked the house? She goes, they checked it top to bottom. I say, okay, fine. So I go upstairs, and I'm starting to feel very uncomfortable, and there's this smell in the air, and I'm looking around, and it's been a week, and clothes are all over the place. And I'm saying, well, it must be the clothes, it must smell, they haven't done anything, they're searching for their father and all this stuff. So this happened over a 2-day period. So I said, listen, I go, I feel energies. I go, I can't stay long. Anyways, I came back the next morning, and people were there, and I was talking to her son's girlfriend, and I said, listen, I need to go to the attic. I said, the father who killed the mother, he died in jail, is giving me these messages, and I need to go to the attic. Can you show me where the attic is? So she said, sure, I'll show you. So she brings me into this small bedroom, and there's a little closet, and there's an attic that reaches up in the closet. I said, can you get me a ladder, and can you give me a flashlight so I can go up? She says, sure, absolutely. So she sent her boyfriend, which is the son, to go get the ladder. And 15 minutes has passed, 20 minutes have passed, there's no ladder. And there's no flashlight. I said, you know what, forget it. I said, I'm just going to climb the walls myself and get up to the attic.
You sound like me. That's what I do.
Yeah, everything is like, I gave myself a hernia doing that. But
Oh my
anyway.
God, okay.
Yeah. So I got up to the attic. I pulled the trap door open. Pitch black. Pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I had nothing to hold on to. I couldn't reach for my phone. I said, I can't do this. And I have his father laughing at me, saying, no, he goes, he's not there. You're a fool, whatever the story is. So I just got back down. And I said, I can't get in. I go, do you have the ladder? They go, we can't find the ladder. So I said, okay. I said, there's not much I can do for you today. So the contractor says, we bought a grid. We're going to go walking outside. And we're going to see what we pick up. So every part of the grid they would do, it would just gray off and say it's done. So I said, while you guys do that, I'm going to take his son outside. So we started walking around, and I started telling him, he used to go into this house. He shows me going into this house, and he says that's where his best friend lives. So we walked a little further, and we have what we call a hydro box, where all the electrical wires are in a box, and they're not up on the street, the wires. And he said, he's telling me something about this box here, that he has something to do with it. And he goes, well, my father is the one who created those boxes for hydro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I said, okay, listen, I said, let me know if anything happens. There's not much I can do, but I know one thing your father is telling me is that you guys are looking way too far. He's a lot closer than what you think. So the next day, the contractor called me up and he said, listen, we found him. And I said, really? I go, where did you find him? And he says, exactly where you told us we'd find him. He hung himself in the attic in a dark room.
Wow.
And yeah.
So he had been up there for quite a while, like 8 or 9 days. That's why you smelt what you smelt then.
Yeah, but I thought maybe it was the clothes because everything was just eviscerated.
Right.
So I said, maybe that's the only thing I'm smelling. But no, it was actually him upstairs because he's been dead for about 6 or 7 days up in the attic.
Right. So, that's absolutely amazing. I know you told me that story. And was that did the newspaper say anything or anyone, or they think you crazy?
At the time, I told them, listen, I don't really want to get involved with you guys putting in the newspaper. Please keep me out of it. I would prefer it. And they did. They respected my wishes. But after that was done, he stayed with me for a good 3 weeks.
Oh,
so,
the spirit?
Yeah.
Oh no. That's tough.
Yeah, but the thing is that from his house to my house is probably less than a 10-minute drive. I got home and I was a bit taken from what happened. And I think about a half an hour later, I went to start my car, and my car is brand new. It's not even a year old. It wouldn't start. So it just totally drained my battery.
Yeah.
I'm saying to myself, this is not normal.
That I know. We know what that is. Of course.
Yeah.
Right. Something is going on, that spirit level or ghost level or from. So what happened next? I mean, this thing was it did you call it an attachment? Because I've had that happen to me and I call it an attachment. So was that an attachment? Okay.
It was an attachment, but I wouldn't say it was a possession.
Okay.
It was definitely an attachment. So I found myself for the next 3 weeks doing things differently. Him giving me all kinds of messages, and I called up his wife and I said, listen, your husband's got a lot to say. So for 8 months, probably twice a month, I would go to their house and I would give them readings and give them messages from him from the other side. So one day during that period, her niece came over and she says, oh, I was there when you found him and I'm really interested in what you do. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but I go, there's somebody that died in a car accident. and he wants you to let his brother know that he's happy that he has his baseball cap. And she said to me, no, I don't know anybody like that. And her mom was sitting there and she says, what are you talking about? The guy on the street over her, he died in a car accident on the way home. So I said, fine. I said to her, I go, is his name Maxim? And she looked at me, she goes, oh my God. She goes, it is Maxim. And I said to her, well, Maxim is telling me that he was driving the car when the accident happened. And she said, no. She goes, Maxim wasn't driving the car. And I said, Maxim is telling me he's driving the car. And she says, no. She goes, the boy's name's Maxime, but his friend who was driving the car was also named Maxime.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, and she got in touch with the brother and the mother, and they called me up and they said, how could you have known that I have his baseball cap? And I said, well, listen, I go, he's telling me that, but he's also telling me tonight you're going out to play hockey. And if you're going to play hockey, your car is not going to work. And somebody in a white Volkswagen Touareg is going to come up to you and ask you if you want a lift. I said, don't get in the car. So he brushed it off. And next day I get a call from him and he goes, my God, he goes, I don't know how you would know this, but my car stopped working and you're right, this white Volkswagen Touareg came by and asked me if I wanted a lift. He says, absolutely not. And he was stranded there. And he had to call a friend to come pick him up. But he was just amazed at the fact that all this happened when I told him it would happen.
Right. So so really what you're doing is you're really helping people with the other side. I mean, you're
Absolutely.
really, which is absolutely amazing. And so do some of these people just want you just there and just talking? Okay, so then that's what you may do is just go to someone's house that has heard about you or something and talk to them about whatever comes to you in your mediumship then.
You know what, Zoe, I got people calling me up who want to buy homes and they want me to go in there and they want me to feel the energy before they actually sign on the dotted line.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow,
and I've had many experiences with that. So they trust me to the point where they'll actually accept the house if I say it's okay for them to go in it.
Wow. Okay. So you've got a pretty good gig going here. I mean, it's not even a gig. It's actually real and you're helping people. And you're one of the people that are awake. And isn't that what it's all about, is helping people rather than just doing a stupid paranormal show on TV?
Absolutely. It's all about helping people. I wouldn't do it for any other reason.
Right. Well, is that your full-time job now, or are you doing both still?
Well, I'm doing both simply because the fact that things have slowed down because of all these different situations.
Okay. I get you.
But we are still doing it, but not to the full capacity that we were doing it before. So we're waiting for everything to try to get back to normal, and we're going to do it at full force. So.
Well, that's actually just wonderful interview that we've done today. Is there anything else that you'd like to comment about or say or anything? Yeah, what is it?
Honestly, I just want people to start taking some time for themselves. Take a half an hour, 20 minutes, do some meditation, try to reach your inner self. It's not all about go, make money, take my kids to soccer, I have to work overtime. Work on yourselves. It's the main thing you could do. And not only do I do mediumship, I see auras. I see the color of your aura. I tell you what is going on with you, health-wise, mentality-wise, and I get a ton of people requesting to do that. And these people stand up against a solid background, usually white because it brings out the color.
Yes.
And I'll tell them what's going on with your hip. There's a problem with your hip. You look really drained. You should work on yourself, build yourself up. I've had people who've had cancer, and I've told them you've had cancer. I've also told people they've gone to a doctor, and they said, well, you know, the doctor's telling me I had cancer. I go, you don't have cancer. And 2 years after back, they called me back, and they said, you know what, you were right. They've done all kinds of testing on me, and it looked like it was cancer, but we were wrong, and it came out, and she's elated that she's fine.
Oh
And she said, I wish I listened to you in the first place.
Wow. Okay, so, I mean, we know you're the real thing. I mean, I know you are. So I want,
Thank you.
okay, so there's going to be people on here that, even myself, you know, I have some personal questions which I won't bring into the interview today. Well, actually I will a little bit. I was doing paranormal extraction, and we were going around. I had a shaman working with me, and we were side by side and he would do his shaman thing, and I would do my thing, my clairaudient,
Zoe, can I stop for a second?
Yeah.
There's something about a Vic.
That's
Whoa.
his name. That's his name.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. He wants to be heard.
Okay.
He wants to be a what?
He wants what?
He wants to be heard. He's there, and he's saying, "Hey, I'm here. I'm still with you. Don't think I'm not with you every day." He's kind of like a sidekick. He was with you quite often.
Yes. He was more. It was. You don't call a shaman. You call them medicine people. But he was actually from, you know, a Native American tribe, the Lakota tribe, and wasn't somebody who just got a certificate to be a shaman. He was the real thing, a medicine person. We were working together, and what happened was we had a really good thing going. We thought it was going to go somewhere, and he died.
Oh.
And I went into actually 1 year of grieving, and I had no idea what I was going to do with my business or how you find another shaman, because it doesn't work that way, because I want someone who's awake and alive like you, okay?
Yeah.
And they're not easy to find. So that's why I started getting into the interviewing, was because of the pandemic. And thought, well, I'll start doing this because I can't really do everything else on my own. But yes, his name is Vic. You're absolutely amazing. This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is absolutely amazing.
Well, listen, Zoe, I just want to let you know that he's still around with you. He's also, were you taller than him?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't taller than him. Well, it's kind of funny.
Oh, wait a minute. He's saying your boots.
Yes.
He says your boots made you taller.
Yep.
Yeah, he would always joke about your boots making you taller.
Yeah, and I have demon on one side and ghost on the other. Yes, I wear, like, people make fun of me. They call them kiss boots, or, you know, a lot of people like them. But yeah, I do have like 6-inch. I have like probably 13 pairs of 6-inch, 7, 8-inch boots, and they are bizarre. So yes.
So you came out to be taller than him.
Yeah, taller
Wow.
or exactly the same height.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, the fact that you even just got Vic, that's just weird. It's not weird. It's just that you're the real thing. So, I just.
Very cool.
Excuse me. I want to say to people out there that I really want them to be able to get a hold of you if this really touches them in any way, to speak about whatever that they want to speak about. So I know that it's this @Soul Medium. Okay, so I can put that down there. Can I use your email address?
Yeah, we can just get in touch with me on Instagram, direct message me, and we can work something out.
Okay, all right. So we can go from there because, yeah. So that's pretty amazing, you guys. You just saw what happened right there with me. So, and he's correct. Anything I'm gonna just say? Anything else you want to say before we end the interview today? Besides. No, okay.
I mean, you know what, Zoe, the whole thing is just for us to wake up and start seeing the other side of it. It's not all about being physical and doing a humdrum everyday life and doing things out of routine. Let's wake ourselves up, start meditating. If you want to know how to start seeing your energy, I can definitely teach people on how to start seeing energies, to see colors, to see what they mean. It's all work that we have to do on ourselves. If we don't start doing this, problems are going to continue for us physically and mentally. So if we work on ourselves 20 minutes every day, I guarantee you anxiety is going to go down. Your intuition is going to rise. You're going to start feeling better about yourself. Just by the meditation alone is going to get rid of your anxieties. So you know what? Let's start seeing things in a different way, not just go to work, come home, cook, and say, then we're so tired at the end of the day, we don't want to do anything else. We fall asleep on the couch.
Right. Yeah.
Let's get up and move.
Yeah, that's it. Now, it's really funny. Let me grab this really quick before we end. You wanted to call this, what was it? What was the name that you wanted to call this show? It was something really funny.
Up yours.
Up yours.
That's right. Up your energy, up your vibration.
Awesome.
Up your meditation, up everything.
Okay, good. I love finishing with that.
Yeah,
Up
that's great.
Yeah, so I really, really like that. So I just want to let you know I'm really grateful that you came on today and that you've shared your experiences.
Thank you for having me.
And that that a lot of people can actually hear you and get help. And you even gave me verification, so there's your verification.
Amazing.
And wow, absolutely amazing.
Yes.
I told you that Dave was fantastic, and I think today we had an absolutely fantastic video, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it today. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.